It's almost as if radio stations across the country have some sort of unspoken agreement when it comes to playing Kendrick Lamar and Drake back-to-back. There's something intriguing about how they frequently follow each other on the airwaves, like they're part of a duet despite existing as two distinct artists. Kendrick and Drake represent two polarizing forces in the music industry, each with a unique sound, style, and fan base, yet they're both universally celebrated, constantly topping charts, and undeniably reshaping the hip-hop genre. Their placement next to each other on radio playlists feels almost like a deliberate choice, a rhythmic relay between lyrical introspection and mainstream appeal, between storytelling depth and infectious beats. When Kendrick's introspective, often thought-provoking lyrics hit, listeners get a moment of reflection. He brings out society's hard truths, political messages, and raw emotions. Kendrick's tracks are usually steeped in heavy themes, delving into identity, cultural issues, and personal struggles, giving listeners that moment of introspection and depth. The radio listener can get lost in the complexity of his verses and his intense delivery, taking a moment to pause and appreciate his verbal artistry. Right after Kendrick finishes his last verse, Drake often steps in, transitioning the vibe effortlessly. Drake brings his smooth, melodious flow, a stark contrast to Kendrick's dense lyricism, and delivers his own brand of catchy hooks and relatable themes. Where Kendrick stirs deep thought, Drake often slides into that space with lyrics about love, success, relationships, and introspection on a more personal, sometimes lighter level. This contrast actually balances out the listening experience, keeping it dynamic yet cohesive, and it's what makes these back-to-back moments feel so impactful. Drake has mastered the art of delivering music that's immediately appealing, while Kendrick pushes boundaries, creating tracks that provoke thought. Having them in succession is like the radio's way of covering both ends of hip-hop's emotional spectrum, satisfying those who crave meaning and those who want a vibe they can nod along to. In many ways, these two artists bring different shades of relatability and musical energy. Whether you're dissecting Kendrick's lyrics or vibing to Drake's latest hit, the sequence seems to blend perfectly, a crafted duality of raw emotion and easygoing beats. The pairing feels intentional, as if their music somehow speaks to each other despite coming from different ends of the hip-hop spectrum. By putting Kendrick and Drake next to each other, radio stations manage to cater to listeners who appreciate both hard-hitting lyricism and catchy melodies, making this recurring back-to-back feature an almost poetic representation of today's hip-hop landscape.